Okay, I'd like to do a little tutorial on researching your sources from our library's electronic resources site. So what you're doing here, you're looking at my screen, and so I'm just going to go into Google Chrome. Let me get out of this stuff and try that again. Let's see here. So I just want to go to the UACCB homepage. And when you go to this page, if you look up here at the top at Library, you want to click on Library, and then you want to go over here and click on Electronic Resources. And then from either on-site or off-site, meaning off-campus, you have these different, and I'm just scrolling through them, these different databases. Now, these are all pretty much within EBSCOhost. EBSCOhost is not the database. Each of these individual things is the database. Now, the Academic Search Elite is a popular one, and since it's here first, we're just going to click on it. And when we do that, since I am on site, I'm not asked for a password and a username, but I can tell you that if you're off-site, off-campus, you're going to be asked at this point for a username and password, and the username is UACCB, all lowercase letters, and the password is also UACCB, all lowercase letters. So keep that in mind. Now, as you're looking for your sources, one of the things you want to do, if you want to click on full text, because if you don't click on full text, then you're going to be given some things in your search that are just locators for journal articles that you don't have access to. So if you click on full text, that's going to ensure that you actually are going to have access to the article. So let's assume that we're doing a paper on school uniforms, and so I'm just going to do a search here. Whoops, and there's actually school uniforms right there. So I'm going to do a search, and if you'll see here, I've got a choice of 239 articles that deal with school uniforms. Now, you can look down through here and take a look at these titles and see if you see if it might apply to the paper you're writing. But let's say that you can't tell from the title. So what you need to do is actually click on the title. And when you do that, you're going to have an abstract, which is a little bit of a summary of that article. Now, I don't want you to use these abstracts to develop your summary, and I'm going to check these things, but that's going to tell you a little bit about that article and whether you want to use it or not. Now, one thing that I can say about this one, I'm going to require that you pick sources that are at least 3 pages long. I'd like them to be longer than that, but you're going to have at least 3-page long sources. This source right here is 5 pages long. So if you think that you want to use that source, it's of the right minimum length. Now, if I click back on this title again, you move my image out of the way, and I've only got this on here to help make this a little bit more like a classroom experience. But one of the things you want to do is you want to use as much help as you can in listing the source information in your works cited page or your annotated bibliography. So to do that, for these articles you find in EBSCOhost, click on this print button right here. And if you'll see on the citation format, it's going to give you MLA as the choice. And so if you choose that and click here on print, then it's going to give you that source in the MLA format. This is the way that this thing needs to look when you put it on your paper. And you can actually cut and paste this information here. I'm trying to do that. Okay, so I have pasted that, or cut that, copied it, if you will, hitting Control C, and then I can use that to put into my Works Cited page if I so chose. I'm going to cancel this print. I'm going to show you that also you've got this same information right here. Now this top line is all the information that you need. You don't have to put this link because in MLA these URLs are optional. So let me go back now, and I'm going to go back one more time and get to this. So this is that same paper. To look at the actual article itself, you click on PDF full text here, and I prefer that you use the PDF available articles rather than HTML because the PDFs keep the I've got a phone number coming in just as I'm doing my little tutorial there. It keeps the page numbers. So when you're doing your in-text citations, you need to be able to list your page numbers, and the PDFs will retain those. The HTML files will not retain those page numbers. So anyway, this is just a little short tutorial of what you need to do to find some sources for this first assignment, the annotated bibliography. Depending on what your topic is, you need to start looking for sources right away, especially right now because I'm going to be assigning in about a week a first draft of a one-source practice annotated bibliography. So anyhow, that's a little guideline on how to do that. So let me close this out, and I'll post it on our Blackboard page, and we're ready to go.